Hey, what is going on, guys? Today I'm sharing with you 5 brand new Assetto Corsa track mods that you need to check out. We have some super cool stuff on today's list, from some historic tracks as well as some fictional tracks. Before we get into it though, I'd like to give a quick shout out to my second channel, JC Racing. If you want to see some broader sim racing content besides just Assetto Corsa mods, that will be your one-stop shop for it. You can find it down in the top link in the description below. And without further ado, let's get right on to the first track mod on today's list, and this is Silverstone from the 1988 F1 season. This was, of course, the old layout, the pre-2012 layout, I believe it is, before they added kind of that inner right-hand turn for turn 1, and where you went under the bridge. It's 5.1 kilometers long. This is a part of Shin's fantastic 1998 F1 recreations, for all of the tracks that were used back in that day, and this looks absolutely fantastic. It's definitely, of course, a very similar layout to Silverstone 2005, if you have that fantastic track, so maybe skip it if 1998 F1 isn't a super huge interest for you, but regardless, still a very high quality track. You can find it in the link in the description below. Next up on the list, we have Baltimore 2013. This is made by a Rainmaker over on Race Department, and this was a street circuit used in the IndyCar season in 2013. It's a track we don't obviously race at now, so super cool to have it here in Assetto Corsa, and definitely one that I personally hadn't heard of until finding this track on Assetto, so definitely one to check out if you are an IndyCar fan. It's not the best in terms of its trackside details or anything like that, but if you're just looking for these kind of older IndyCar slash street circuits, you know Rainmaker's quality. He does a lot of very good work. This one, of course, is just an R factor conversion, so there's not a ton you can do to really beautify them, but regardless, still a very fun and challenging layout in an IndyCar as well. You can find this one down in the link in the description below. Next up on the list, we have the A1 ring from the 1998 season, or as it's known now, the Red Bull ring, before Red Bull sponsored the track. 4.3 kilometers long. It's a very similar layout to the one we have today, but you'll notice, especially on your first lap, how many of the corners have been reprofiled for modern day F1. There's a lot less elevation change, and that's saying something because Austria has definitely the most elevation change probably on the whole F1 calendar, maybe besides like Spa, but even then still probably more. But there were a lot of hills on this track, even in the middle of straightaways and things like that, that just don't really exist on the current Red Bull ring layout. But a very, very fun track as always. Still has the DNA, of course, and I've always enjoyed driving the Red Bull ring, so having the A1 ring here represented is very, very cool to see. And once again, this is a part of Shin's 1998 F1 season recreation, so if you already have a collection building, this is definitely going to be one to add on to it. You can find it down in the link in the description below. Next up on the list, we have Thermalito Circuit. This is made by Tyrone or Nuke Drop over on Race Department. This is a 5-kilometer long fictional track based in California, and it is kind of going around a water treatment plant preservation kind of area out in the desert, so it's a very, very interesting layout as well, kind of weaving around the canal that feeds into the water treatment plant. But a lot of elevation change. In fact, one of my favorite corners is a very, very high-speed left-hand turn going down a hill. It feels like a reverse Eau Rouge almost. So a very, very tricky track, but once you get the hang of it, you'll definitely be enjoying it. It also does have a short version as well, cutting out some of the interior tunnels and things like that. So if you want a little bit less technical corners, I guess, then you can go for that as well. But a very, very high quality track. Everything here look absolutely beautiful, especially some of the trackside rock faces look very, very nice. Texture work is fantastic. So if you're into fictional circuits, this is definitely a must-have in my opinion. I have previously covered this track, but it has received some pretty big updates, so I always like to recover them. You can find this one down in the link in the description below. The final track mod on this list is, once again, a 1998 F1 track, though. This one is definitely the most unique, though. This is the Hockenheimring, but this is, of course, the forest ring layout, if that's what you want to call it. This is before the track was altered and changed after Senna's crash, I believe it was. So we are very fast, flying into the forest. This is definitely a track I'm surprised didn't change all that much until, you know, their hand was kind of forced. It's definitely a relic of the past. 6.8 kilometers long, pretty much just super long straights with a few chicanes here and there, but overall a very, very unique track, and of course one that a ton of people hold near and dear to their hearts. It looks fantastic as well. Shin has done a great job, and overall it is just a very, very fun layout, one where you can not turn your brain off, but you know, you have some parts of the track to relax and, you know, start to prepare for the next corners to come. So super fun to lap. I haven't driven the old version of the Hockenheimring very much, so this was a very welcome addition to my Assetto Corsa catalog. You can find this one down in the link in the description below. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. If you did enjoy this video, a like and a sub would mean a lot. Once again, be sure to check out my second channel, JC Racing. You can find it in the top link in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a good one, guys.